Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 94 of the Sim Racing Show. And this week, Assetto Corsa EVO might have just made its smartest move yet, because Kunos have quietly changed a decision about modding, and it's exactly the kind of decision that the community has been waiting to hear about. Project Motor Racing has pushed another major GT3 tyre and handling overhaul, and Forza Horizon 6 has revealed more of its interesting looking career mode structure. Assetto Corsa Rally is going deeper with dynamic weather conditions and tyre choices, and Le Mans Ultimate has made a big call on endurance events that says a lot about where the game is right now. Tokyo Extreme Racer has just landed on PS5, and Rennsport is starting to stack serious endurance machinery, while bigger questions still linger in the background. Let's get into it. A lot of promise there, but as you know, we're going to scrutinize it hard. Now, this is a big one for EVO, and it's one of the more intriguing bits of news that Kunos has put out in a while, because Marco Massarutto has said in an interview that Assetto Corsa EVO modding tools will be opened up to the community with no limits, and that's a huge shift compared to the earlier messaging where it sounded like Kunos wanted much tighter control over what mods could go in, with checks around legality and quality. Now, I put a lot of pressure on Kunos about this. I made big videos that a lot of the community didn't appreciate me saying. They thought I was destroying the hype for EVO, but I believe I realised, and you probably knew as well, what exactly made the original Assetto Corsa so powerful. Because let's be honest, modding is not some side feature for Assetto Corsa. It is the reason the original game is still alive, still relevant, and one of the most important racing games ever made. So this is exactly the kind of news that EVO needed right now. Big win for the community potentially. Now Kunos just need to follow up with solid updates and delivering on that promise. So let me know in the comments, does unlimited modding support make you more confident in EVO, or do you still need to see more from the core game first? And sticking with Sims, trying to win back people with the right kind of updates, big theme for 2026, Project Motor Racing has just dropped another handling focused patch. It's the 1.6.0.1 update, and the headline is the GT3 tyre model overhaul. Straightforward, so the GT3s now have more realistic slip grip behaviour, better feel at the limit, and a smoother transition when the car starts to lose traction. So the aim is simple: make the GT3s feel more natural when you're actually pushing. They've also reworked GT3, TC and ABS, and that should help the cars feel less awkward and more drivable at race pace. It's not just GT3 either. LMDH gets another TC pass, plus they've made more physics and drivability tweaks across other classes too. There are also force feedback improvements, wet track force feedback tweaks, online fixes, some AI track polish in the patch as well. Now, one important note: if you had custom GT3 setups before this update, you'll probably need to rework them because the tyre behaviour has changed. So it's another promising or update that promises proper handling focused stuff from Project Motor Racing, and that is what they need. Now let me know in the comments if you tried the new Project Motor Racing patch. Do the GT3 cars feel better now, or do they need more work? Now, I am playing Project Motor Racing fairly frequently. If you look at my review videos when I'm reviewing hardware, which I'm doing all the time, I'm often reviewing also on Project Motor Racing. However, I'm not driving GT3s that much in Project Motor Racing, because to me, I can drive GT3s everywhere. It's stuff like driving the Mazda, driving the historic cars that are really interesting, and I just wonder whether Project Motor Racing needs to kind of refocus itself, because it just won't be able to ever achieve being the greatest thing since sliced bread in sim racing. It's a task too big. Now, from one hardcore sim patch notes to one of the biggest mainstream racing games we are going to see this year, because we have now got a much clearer look at Forza Horizon 6 career mode. And I'll talk about that in just a moment, AC Rally and other news. But before that, I want to say a big thank you to MOZA for sponsoring this sim racing show with the MOZA R25 Ultra True Torque wheelbase, which is a beastly wheelbase for 25 Newton meters, $899. It's one of the most aggressively priced direct drive wheelbases out there, and it has LFE, it has the telemetry LEDs down the side. Very interesting product. If you're looking for a powerful wheelbase, you should definitely at least be aware of it and consider it. There'll be a link in the description, and big thank you to MOZA for sponsoring another sim racing show. Now back to Forza Horizon 6, because this time you start in Japan as a newcomer. not the already famous Horizon hero. So the whole idea is that you're working your way into the festival properly, not getting flown in like some mad VIP. And the progression is built around wristband. So you do qualifier and invitational event, and you keep unlocking more as you go. So the career, it looks like it's actually split into 2 lanes. So first, you do have the Horizon Festival side, which is that more structured progression path of race events, car restrictions, PR stunts, skills, all that kind of stuff. But then you got Discover Japan, which is more about exploring the map and Japanese car culture. I am more about Discover Japan, and they're bringing back things like barn finds, and the exploration side uses a stamp system that unlocks more content, houses other rewards. And another really good feature, I think, once you complete an event, you unlock a race customizer, so you can change traffic, time of day, weather, laps, AI numbers, and more. And if you're wondering whether the game just gives you hypercars straight away, this has been my bane with Forza Horizon. Apparently not. The really fast stuff in the main festival career is locked behind a later wristband, so it sounds like Playground are intentionally slowing progression down, and I'm a fan of this. Now, one of the new career mode additions is called Horizon Rush, which sounds like a proper obstacle course challenge mode instead of a normal race. It's all about getting through technical sections fast under a time limit. So again, that could be a fun change of pace if they do nail those routes. It looks like on the bat, Forza Horizon 6 career mode could feel a lot more satisfying this time. I didn't really like it in Forza Horizon 5, which was just chaos from one moment to the next. But let me know what you think in the comments. Are you liking this slower progression? This is a game with a career mode, and we know that sim racing, hardcore sim racing, is struggling to implement career modes. Now let's talk about Assetto Corsa Rally, which is going in a very different direction, and also an interesting one. So Assetto Corsa Rally's version 0.3 update is coming very soon, and this one looks properly stacked. We already knew that Monte Carlo was going to be in, but it's now 2 Monte Carlo stages, Col de Turini and Sisteron. The Skoda Fabia Rally 2 Evo is going to be in, and the final car is a Lancia Fulvio Coupe HF. But honestly, the more interesting part might be the weather, because version 0.3 brings dynamic weather conditions to the Monte Carlo stages, so the surface can change during the stage depending on things like temperature and altitude. So you could be on one kind of grip lower down, and then you climb up and the road is a completely different story. Very interesting. They've also added Monte Carlo specific tarmac tyres, including the regular winter and studded options, which is exactly the kind of decision making you want to make in Monte Carlo style rallying. And that's what makes this so interesting. It's not just the new roads and cars that I was kind of expecting, but the actual conditions and tyre choice are becoming part of the challenge. Now, one small caveat here, it's important to mention, the tyre thermal evolution system is still disabled while they keep working on it, so that part is not fully there yet. But overall, this is starting to look like a really promising direction for AC Rally, and let me know in the comments what you're most excited for in AC Rally version 0.3. Now, from Monte Carlo roads and changing grip to endurance racing, where the challenge right now is making sure the big online events actually run properly, so Le Mans Ultimate has postponed its latest 24-hour community event and is running a 12-hour test event instead because of ongoing technical issues, mainly around server performance and stability when lots of players are online at the same time. So basically, they're trying to avoid another big event going wrong and use a shorter one to test and learn first. Now, from one angle, that's the responsible thing to do, better than forcing it and having a disaster. But from another angle, this is Le Mans Ultimate, the official game of the most famous 24-hour race in the world. Endurance team racing, it's not like an additional feature here. This is what the whole game and identity should be about. And with the Le Mans Virtual Series expected to return this year, will Max Verstappen be driving? Getting these long online events working reliably is absolutely massive for the game's credibility. So let me know in the comments, would you rather LMU delay and test properly, or are you getting frustrated with how long it's taking to get these big events stable? Now, staying with racing games, but switching the vibe up, because Tokyo Extreme Racer has now landed on PS5 today, 25th February, and the console launch comes with 3 extra cars straight away. PS5 players are getting the Honda Jazz, Mazda CX-3 and Toyota Dina added to the lineup, and they already said more cars are coming after launch as well. It's digital only, priced at £39, and if you like that late night highway street racing vibe, proper car tuning, licensed parts, and classic Japanese metal, this is very much a kind of game. It's got that Midnight Club style energy in the idea. It does have a fair amount of tuning depth and a really strong JDM feel. So on paper, could be quite fun on console. Let me know if you're thinking about dropping in to Tokyo Extreme Racer. Now, from one game arriving on console with fresh content to another sim still trying to build momentum with its next content drop, let's talk about Rennsport. So Rennsport is still pushing ahead with new content, and on paper there is a plan starting to form. So the Peugeot 9X8 hypercar is coming as part of the first paid DLC next month, and that rounds out the Endurance Classics Part 1 pack. So on top of that, more cars have been teased as well. KTM Expo GT2, Porsche Cayman GT4 and Laguna Seca have also been shown as what looks like the next phase of content. So from a pure content point of view, this is good. Rennsport needs more reasons for people to launch the game, and it's in the right direction. But there's another layer to this story, because Nacon, who are publishing the console versions, it seems, have also been in the news because of financial pressure linked to debt issues at a parent company level, and public trading has reportedly stopped. Now, what that means for Rennsport long term is not clear yet. So the content roadmap is there, which is positive, but there's a bit of a business backdrop which makes it more complicated. So let's see what happens with Rennsport. I do have some interviews coming out where I grill, frankly, the Rennsport leadership and ask exactly the questions you want to see. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you want to see that and support me, and I'll see you in the next Sim Racing show.